Hello, my name is Sebastian Jerez, and I am going to be presenting to you my summary of The Giver. In The Giver, the entire premise of the book is that the characters live in a utopia where the entire city is ruled by the Committee of Elders, and there doesn't seem to be any evidence of pain, suffering, or disease anywhere in their history. The entire book is written in third person. Proof of this is that in the book, the narrator says, he thinks and not I think. The story revolves around our main character, Jonas. Jonas is a 12-year-old boy who is waiting to attend the December ceremony in order to be given his lifelong role in the community. In this utopia, age is a very important concept. So far as to when the kids turn 12, it's an entire ceremony that is celebrated by almost everyone in the community. The main character of this book, Jonas, lived just like any other family in the community. A mom, a dad, and depending on which gender you were, a brother and a sister. In Jonas's case, he has a little sister called Lily. Jonas and his family live a very ideal life, so to speak. His mom works with the Department of Justice and his dad works with newborns. In the morning meal, they talk about the dream they had the night before, and in the evening meal, they talk about their day, and they talk about the events that happened during their day, and supporting and confronting each other according to the rules of their community. This whole society lives under some pretty strict rules. One of them being the process of natural selection does not exist when talking about parents having children. Family units must actually apply for children, and spouses don't get to choose each other. Instead, their match and grandparents do not exist. With this information alone, the reader is already left with an unsettling feeling about the society. Everything is planned, and it seems like natural selection just does not exist here. As mentioned before, Jonas is turning 12 in the beginning of the book, so he himself is attending the ceremony of 12 to get his lifelong profession. Jonas's two best friends, Asher and Fiona, are also attending the ceremony with him. The odd thing to Jonas is that he can guess perfectly what jobs will be assigned to his friends, but when it comes to him, he doesn't know what job would suit him the most. To Jonas's surprise, he is given the role of Holder of Memory, the highest position in the community. Jonas starts his training not long after the ceremony had ended. He is training under the wing of the present Holder of Memory and thus begins his journey to find out all the hidden truths that have been hidden by the community for so long. Jonas one day asks the giver if he can look at a memory of his father performing a release earlier that day on an infant. Jonas later realizes the truth that releasing is just dying by lethal injection forcefully against your will. Jonas soon learns that Gabriel, the infant that had been staying with him throughout the past couple of days, is going to be released. Jonas now has a new objective: to take Gabriel out of the community so he can avoid being released. To do so, he rides a bike away from the community and goes into elsewhere. It just so happens that when the current holder of memory escapes the community, all the information given to him by the giver will be transmitted back to the citizens, forcing them to actually experience the feelings and emotions that normal humans go through. The book ends with Jonas and Gabriel sliding down a snowy hill on a sled towards what appears to be Christmas lights and music. The author finishes the book at a cliffhanger and leaves you, the reader, to interpret what happens to them and the community. When reading a book, you always try to find the different types of characters. First thing to find usually is the protagonist. In this case, our protagonist, or better yet, hero, is Jonas. Jonas shows characteristics of a hero throughout the story. Most significant example of this is him taking action and escaping from this horrid community and giving everyone the freedom to have feelings and emotions. He wanted to change the robotic way of life that everyone around him was living in.
He was the change that they needed to finally break free from this curse and finally be human again. The types of characters that usually make the most impact in the quest of the hero are the lover and the mentor. In the case of the giver, this is Fiona and the previous receiver of memory. When Jonas was given the past memories by the giver, he learned that he actually had feelings for Fiona. Because of this dystopian society, Fiona did not know how to love back. Lois Lowry actually quoted this saying, Jonas liked Fiona. She was a good student, quiet and polite, but she had a sense of fun as well. We soon learned that Fiona was a love interest for Jonas. When the community got a hold of this, they started giving Jonas pills to suppress his feelings. Another character who is very important in this story is the past receiver of memory before Jonas. He is, I guess you could say, the gatekeeper for all that Jonas does after being assigned his permanent role as keeper of memory. A very big reoccurring theme in this book is the importance of memory. But stepping outside the box for a second, if you think about it, most of it is the importance of memory to make life decisions. The importance of memory for making important life decisions. To truly describe this concept, it is important to look into what memory does in its base, in its purest form. Memory is used to remember things, but if you think outside of the box for just a little, memory is so much more than that. Memory is what helps you make the most important decisions in your life. Memory is what helps you tie every single one of your life experiences together, so when you finally have to make that one big decision, you can connect the dots easier to make that decision. Memory helps you be aware. It is what makes you think twice before committing to do something, whether that be a relationship or doing something that you think will change everything. And when taking away memory, you're taking away everything. That's why the theme of importance of memory for making important life decisions is so present in this story because it really does signify how much memory matters and how this whole idea of taking away memory from every single civilian in this dystopian society is completely wrong.
Personally, I give this book a 4.5 out of 5. The reason for that being that I think that the book did a fantastic job at talking about the concept that a dystopian society is actually not perfect, and that making everyone forget about all their memories has more flaws than anyone could ever imagine. The book makes you think, and it has the ability to make you never want to stop reading until you find out what happens next. Thank you for Toodaloo.
You're mocking me, aren't you? Oh, no, 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 no. Buzz, look, an alien! Where?